Yeah, it's looking good. So what we're going to do now is go back and work on the trees a little bit, okay, in the background. Because you know this little wash of cobalt blue that we've used before to put another little dimension into the shadows. We've used it on quite a number of our paintings in the classes. And it's a wash like this. I'm moving it over here again so as we can see it. And that's it against your manganese blue there again. Okay, like that. And twist the brush and we're going to start applying it, little dots here and there down towards the grasses at the bottom of the trees, and it just adds another little shading tone device. You know, you can have little gaps as well. It doesn't have to go all the way across, but it's one of my je ne sais quoi inspirational colors, and it brings those trees to life in the background, gives them girth and depth without painting branches or anything, you know. Go up a little higher with some of them, but that, as long as it's down close to the grasses, you want the effect close to the grasses to get an idea of another shadowy area down there with maybe a little glimmer of light coming through the branches and the shimmering leaves. Okay, now that's all we do there. That's all. It's as simple as that. See, look, and when you see it, probably not coming out as well on camera here, because my camera is only my phone camera. It's not exactly picking up the nuances of this, but as you apply it yourself with your cobalt blue, you'll see the effect. Okay, and it's mirroring again the idea of the blue here underneath, you know. It's all for a reason, you know. I don't choose these palettes haphazardly. These, you know, are palettes that I've established over years and years of exploring colour and celebrating colour. Okay, but of course the Impressionists were using cobalt blue in shadows long before I was anyone, or you or me or anyone else was born. Now that's really enough there. It sort of pushes back the trees a little bit, but it still gives them that lovely silhouette on the skyline, okay, but push them back also. That's enough there. And while you were gone there having your tea or your coffee, all I did was I brought in a little darker area in between here just to push back this little wall, darker than the gable end, just there, and then a little piece just here to separate that wall from the smaller cottage, okay? Simple as that. Now we're going to put another coat on the grasses. We're going to build it up yet to another stage. This is the colour we were using, but now we're even going to add more white to it as well. And it's not going to be white, it's still going to be an off turquoisey, light aqua green colour, because the white is for the buildings, okay? But it's going to add that extra little zvoof to it, okay? To give it that vibrancy. Have it mixed in there, and it's going to be towards the top. It's not going to come down as far as the other colours. Support again with this hand, and we're just delineating the little lines there, the grasses at the top, and even a few gaps as well to show the undercolours coming through. It doesn't have to be continuous. Can you see just with the tip of my brush? This is where your little round brushes come into play. Of course, if you were using on a big canvas, will you be using the edge of this like that straight on to get these brush strokes in? But because of the situation, I do the demonstrations on the small canvas. Maybe when I get used to this videoing idea, I'll be able to film myself on big canvases. But you see, the camera is, my phone is sort of stuck where it is. I can't move it. I can't, you know, there's no focus or zoom on it, if you know what I mean. Now we're going all the way across, look, just to get this lighter tone again. Coming in there, okay. Coming up there again, just going over slightly more again. And I'll show you what's going to happen. As soon as we get this, the same idea as the previous application, as soon as we get this line in, then we can start jumping down hiddly-piggly again, just to get the looseness into it, just to get that lovely flow, that lovely movement, that lovely almost melody into the grasses, you know. There could be musical notes, you know, denoting a composition, like the one that's on behind me now at the moment. That's actually, yeah, Julie Feeney with my nephew Kevin. One of it, Obeyed, it's one of his compositions, a beautiful piece. I heard them singing it live the concert, and it's so moving. Okay, there we go. Do you see this idea here? You can see the way it's bringing it up again. It's adding another little layer, another little, oh, look at me. I'm the light glancing across these wispy grasses. I'm bringing depth to these grasses. I'm making them move, even though it's a flat surface. It's only a painting. It's a canvas. It's 2D. It's not 3D. It's not a movie. How can they do it? I don't know. This is it. Je ne sais quoi. But can you see that idea there? Just to get those little movements in there. Can you see that? And now we know that our roofs are still a little bit dark, so we're going to bring them up. Again, we're going into the light aqua green with a tiny bit of the turquoise deep, because we want to bring that up a little bit and wash over that, because it is just that little bit too dark against the trees. You'll see, hopefully this might be lighter. It is, yeah. This will do a little wash over it, supporting my hand again. You'll see the difference it makes, because the light is hitting this roof as well as the front area of the buildings. Now, can you see what I mean in that sense? See the way that brings it up nicely? See, this is what I mean again. I'm sorry about saying it again, but adding and subtracting. It's all a journey. It's all a journey painting. You know, you continuously change. You just don't say, okay, that's painted. Okay, that's finished. That's way the grass is finished. Okay, let's throw it down. It's all evolving as you go along. And even when I see this little tone here, I like it. I'm going to just darken this a little bit more here to give a little more depth. Maybe it's going around the corner there behind that. Can you see? And it's pushing the building forward. Can you see that idea? These are okay here. We don't want to push these back too much. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go for that lovely red. And I'll leave my messy palette there for the moment. And we start on a new one, which we'll mess up eventually. And we have our lovely cadmium red, because we're going to get in some of those poppies in the foreground, remember? We're just going to get in a few. We're not going to get in as many as I have there in the original one. Well, anyway, it's all, each one is different, every painting I do. See, we've lots of them here. Well, what we're going to do is, I'm going to show you a little technique, just to show you, to lift it up a bit. In order to do your poppy, in fact, I'll show it here to you first of all. Just use a few little strokes of your small square flat. A few little strokes like that. Can you see? Just to get irregular strokes. Can you see that? See the way? And moving the brush around all the time. And it gets irregular strokes, and they look something like poppies. I mean, they're not botanically correct. But we'll see. We'll try a few here then. Are you ready? Just try them here like this. Little strokes like that. Moving up there like that, even if you can leave a little gap in some of them, you know, to give that sense of the center part of it, you know. Moving up here, some of them on top in little clusters as well. Now, as you know, like with the cadmium red medium light, by nature it is transparent, so we will have to go back over these again when we get the chance. When you're having another sip of wine there and I'm drying this, okay, you can go back over them. But do you see the effect that they have? Okay, lovely little effect, aren't they? Really building up there now. Some of them, okay, we put another one up here against the lovely aqua green. Another one down here, maybe just peeping into the painting. Another one here, maybe in a cluster of 3 here like that. Okay, can you see that idea? See the way I'm moving around with it all the time? Over here like this. My brush is continually moving. I'm not painting on poppies. I'm just adding dabs, you know, of color, which give the impression of little poppies. Okay, simple as that. And what we'll have to do is go over it again, as I said, to reinforce it, to get that effect. But I don't want too many of them, because I think there's enough red there really to contrast and complement the greens. Okay. And what I'll do with those is I will reinforce them when I dry them, which I'll have to do shortly, because we want to put the reeds over it next, and in order to do that they have to be dry, otherwise I'll be dragging red through the reeds. But I think there's just enough there. What do you think? I think so. Okay, back in a few minutes. Enjoy your coffee or wine, whatever you're doing.